Well, good morning, everyone. I get to follow behind Milford. We've worked together a lot. My name is Elizabeth Tomlin. I'm with the Virginia Department of Labor and Industry, as Jim had said, in the Verona area office. I'm a senior safety consultant. I've been with the agency since 1990, and I've worked in a variety of capacities with the agency. The SHARP program is a different level. It's more designed for employers who are kind of pursuing this interest for the first time and who really want to improve the programs they have. The SHARP program stands for Safety and Health Award Recognition Program. And the idea here is to help the employer expand their the programs that they have, their safety at their site, their awareness of employee work practices, safety practices, equipment, machinery, and so forth. We're out here to help improve your voluntary and your partnership efforts, both in the community, but also, very importantly, within your business itself. And the idea is to provide a strong and effective background for you and have the knowledge of what to do when enforcement shows up, how to have knowledgeable employees out there so that they don't just go freeze like deer in the headlights when enforcement walks up and says, hi, we're here to do an inspection. Consultation programs, the purpose is to provide you with assistance with and guidance to your employer and your employees about safety practices. We do an on-site survey for you, we conduct speeches for you, we provide training, and we also have a variety of resources and publications that we make available to you. When we come out and open the pre-SHARP survey with you, we come out with both two disciplines, a safety professional and a health professional, and we come to your site and look at you very comprehensively. And as Milford had mentioned, a lot of times they will utilize the voluntary consultation team to come in as a pre-VPP to kind of help you, what I call edge the corners, get your programs really together, get things really organized, and kind of give you a boost up, a leg up. Ideally, the SHARP program was originally designed as consultation services to give recognition to smaller employers. And this is to help them identify and correct hazards in their workplace. Are we getting feedback? Okay, a little bit.
There's the elevator. You're good.
Do what?
You're good.
Okay. It's also here to identify sources of assistance for employers where maybe they need some guidance on something, and we can help provide to them information on where to go to maybe improve, say, fall protection issues or something that they're dealing with in their workplace. We assist employers in developing and maintaining those programs. That's very important. You have to have an effective safety and health management program at your site, and it has to be maintained. It's not enough to reach that level and then let it dive back down. You've got to keep it there. We also do on-site training, off-site training. We come to employers, they may say we need that particular program presented, and we will come in, for example, we might do something for you on lockout, tagout, or hazard communication, some issues that maybe you have. And the nice thing here is, again, as with voluntary consultation with VPP, it's a free program. There are no penalties involved. You invite us in. So again, we're wearing the white hat. We come in at your request. We're there to assist you. And we regard you with very good faith. If you've invited us in, you clearly are dedicated to having a safe environment, or you wouldn't have asked us in the first place. So no citations or penalties are involved, but you do have to fix things. You do sign an agreement saying that you will fix anything that we have identified during the course of the survey in a timely fashion. And of course, if it's an imminent danger issue, you got to jump on it right then. Services are free, again, available to any employer in general industry requesting a survey. Ideally, it's dedicated on the SHARP side of it to employers who have 250 or fewer employees, and less than 500 corporate-wide within the state, within that same standard industry code or NAICS code, the North American Industrial Classification Code System. If you work in a high hazard industry, again, this is targeting employers who work in high hazard industries or who have unusually hazardous processes out there that they may be working with. And it's also very important that that employer is willing to commit their time and their resources to getting the hazards fixed as a result of the survey and things that we see as a result of walking through your facility. Your service, whatever we provide to you, is confidential. It's kept private between you and us. We don't go back to the office and talk to the enforcement side and go, boy, you should have seen what we saw today. We don't do that stuff. It's kept confidential. And any of your safety or health issues that are identified are routinely reported, strictly in-house to us, to our supervisor in voluntary consultation. Nothing goes outside our voluntary consultation side of it. Voluntary consultants do have things that they do. We do help you recognize your hazards, recognize training needs. We suggest general applications, things that you may need to do. We are available there to make ideas available to you. Maybe say, well, there are alternate methods of doing this. You might want to consider this or consider that. This will make it safer, but this might achieve the same goal, be a bit cheaper, things that employers may need to look at. We do help you identify the kinds of help, again, that are available for further assistance, and we provide you with a written report that summarizes our findings as a result of our survey. We also assist you in developing or maintaining programs. For example, when I come out to you, I will bring with me a CD that is loaded with slideshows, sample written programs, boilerplates. You fill in the blanks, you come up with that, you implement those steps, and you now have written programs that perhaps you didn't have before that you need. One of the things as a sharp side is that you do have to have in place and functioning the written programs that are required by the standard based on what you do. Obviously, if you don't ever have to do a process safety management thing because you don't exceed particular chemical quantities, let's say ammonia or something like that, we're not going to look at you for that. But whatever you're required to have based on your work environment, then you need to have those written programs. They have to be implemented, they have to be functional, they have to be audited and maintained. The voluntary consultants, again, do make training and education processes available for you and your employees at your workplace. And under circumstances, sometimes we have someone who's especially good that we may actually be able to go to our supervisor and say, hey, these folks are already at a level that they could probably attain sharp status very quickly. That's not common, but it can happen. So there are some sites who may be eligible without having to wait through a deferral period while they bring things up to speed. And if that's the case, we will make that recommendation. We do not issue penalties. We do not issue citations or penalties. We do not report possible violations, again, to the enforcement side. And we also do not guarantee that you're going to flawlessly pass any future enforcement inspection. We do our best. What I tell employers, and I'm sincere in this, is that my goal is to educate you as much as possible about what you need to do based on the exposures you have in your work environment. And as a sharp site, we want to be sure that if enforcement does show up because you had an accident or an injury where they are allowed to come in, even if you become a sharp site, there's a certain level of immunity from general scheduled inspections. If you have an accident or, God forbid, a fatality, they're going to be there to investigate. I don't want you folks to be suddenly saying, well, gee, Elizabeth didn't tell us about such and such. So the goal is to be sure that you are aware of what you're required to know as an employer for the type of environment you're working in. Now, with the Safety and Health Award Recognition Program, the SHARP, this becomes a special recognition program, and this is, again, this is a very elite program. We have about 65 SHARP sites in the state of Virginia. If you think of the number of employers in Virginia, that is like a 1% of 1%. I mean, you're like really a very elite group, even as a SHARP site. We provide employers with incentives and support to enhance their program. When you attain SHARP status, you get a flag to fly, you get recognition, you'll be on our website. You can go to our DOLI website right now and look up the list of current SHARP sites within the state of Virginia. We also try to help the employers actively involve their employees, and again, this is a very key element, as it is with VPP. Involvement of employees in your safety program becomes a key element of SHARP. If you don't involve your employees very much, if you're interested in SHARP, that's going to be one of the major recommendations that we make for the employer, is to have those employees participating in evaluation of personal protective equipment, making recommendations on how safety procedures can be improved. If there's a particular piece of machinery that almost always nearly catches somebody and maybe tangles them up, then we need to be looking at that and saying, why is this happening? What can we do to prevent it? And we want to see that you're utilizing your employees. After all, they're the ones out there. They're where the rubber meets the road. They are the ones doing the production of your product for you or doing your work process. And if they can't help identify hazards, who can? Because they're seeing it every day. So we want to see that this level of involvement is there and that the employer is pursuing this. Now, once SHARP status is actually obtained, once the employer obtains that, the employer has certain responsibilities. Again, this is not you get a pat on the back and then you just stay status quo. Okay, we expect you to continue to improve. And as Milford was saying, you have that matrix. Once you attain a certain level, you've got that under control, and we want to see that you're going to go up to a higher level. You're going to adopt a new goal of things to pursue within your program. So it's a constant improvement process. Also, again, a key element is you have to maintain your injury and illness rates below the standard industrial code classification or NAICS code classification for your SIC. So if, for example, you're a radiator repair service and all the companies across the country are reporting in that their average total reportable case rate is 5.6, then you have to be below 5.6 on your three-year average as well. Now also, once SHARP status is obtained, the employer receives some benefits from this, and of course one of the big ones is they are then removed from the general scheduled inspection survey process by the enforcement side of the house. And this will get you off their general schedule list for at least a year, and as you maintain your SHARP status over a period of time, this may be expanded from 1 year to 2 years and upwards of 3 years. And during that time period, there are some reporting issues we'll talk about. But this removes you from the general schedule list. Again, you will definitely, we have yet to see a SHARP site who hasn't come back and said, boy, my accident index modifier has gone down. Our insurance carrier, our loss prevention people are so tickled with us. We got money back. You see the benefits. And of course you have better employee morale, increased productivity. There's just a lot of triple factors that go out there that make this very worthwhile. An added benefit too, of course, is the public recognition. And there are a lot of companies out there that once they have changed SHARP status, other employers out there who may be buying products from you start looking for this kind of thing, and they ask, hey, you're a SHARP company? And that may make the difference on whether you get a particular bid or not. You do get recognition. Employer, you get a chance to see that your employees are working with the employer, and it becomes a very exemplary program. Again, you get recognition from the state. You'll be on our website, and it'll be noted that you are one of our SHARP participants. The employer's work site has to have been in operation for at least a year at that particular physical facility in order to ask to be considered for SHARP status. You have to be in operation for at least a year. And during that year, this gives you the time to establish what your days away rate and your total reportable case rate is, so that we can determine whether you're eligible to pursue the program. Now, there's sometimes companies who come to us who want to be SHARP, and they're not quite there, but we give them time to work towards it. The employer's work site must also be a single fixed work site. It again has to be in a high hazard SIC or NAICS code, or it might be on a supplemental high hazard list based on a particular work activity, or it may be a program that's approved by our Consultation Services Program Manager, and the type of work that it's done qualifies them to be in a SHARP program.